Hello, everybody. I hope that y'all all doing well. I hope that y'all have a happy Thanksgiving, a Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year. Over the course of the semester, I have decided to come up with an imaginary youth football program because I believe that football is very beneficial to young athletes. As I mentioned in the previous slide, over the course of the semester, I have come up with the idea of creating an imaginary youth football program. My main goals for this assignment is to view the positives and the negatives in terms of creating a youth football program, the history of the sport of football, and the proper locations and demographics that comes with where we can have the football program located. My background. As many of you know, I am a die-hard college football fan, and I especially root for the South Carolina Gamecocks. Unfortunately, we're not having the best of seasons this year. I also played football in middle and high school. Reasons why football is vital for young athletes. So, some common reasons that I came up with is the idea of team building. Players need to work together and build each other up. Team bonding. They need to work together to solve each other's differences. Of course, the value of friendships. Players make friends when they're on teams, as well as competitiveness. Players can learn how to be competitive, but in a positive way. Some positives regarding youth athletics. Of course, you got physical activity, players getting a run and stay in shape. The ability to succeed. This comes with winning. The ability to learn from our failures. We all fail at something, and it's best that we learn from it. And also the ability to develop great leadership skills. Players can demonstrate that whenever a teammate of theirs does something really well and they can congratulate them. Unfortunately, there are some negatives regarding youth athletics. One negative is that athletes and parents tend to get caught up in the distractions that athletics pose. This can involve athletes forgetting about schoolwork. If this is if their games are on weekends, they forget about church. Another negative is that parents and athletes forget about the other obligations, similar to what I just mentioned. And also the fact that sports in general poses a great amount of risk. Players can get hurt, injured, and they can be at risk of surgery. The history of football. The first football game that was ever played in the United States took place in 1869, featuring Princeton and Rutgers in a rugby style contest. Professional football began around 1892. The NFL was formed around 1920, and it wasn't until 1932 that professional football began taking off. Since then, football has begun shaping into what we know of football today. There are also efforts to ban youth football. Even though football has become safer over the years, this hasn't kept parents from being skeptical. According to sources such as the Washington Post, there have been efforts to ban football for children younger than the age of 12. Why location is important. Some reasons why location is very important when it comes to creating a youth football program is the fact that we want to ensure the safety of the players as well as the parents. Another reason why it is important is to make sure that it is in a neighborhood with a low crime rate. And we also want to make sure that the field is easy to access. We don't want the field to be in a bad neighborhood. Conclusion. Overall, football is very beneficial for the American culture that we live in, especially for those at a young age. Young athletes can learn leadership skills, how to be a good teammate and friend, and the value of winning and losing with class. Here's my reference page.